Cowboys today announced that they are moving on from head coach Mike McCarthy. And now the internet has blown up saying that Deion Sanders will be the next head coach of the Cowboys, and Shador is going to be drafted by the Cowboys. And this is a guarantee, and this is going to happen. Now, my response to this is this. Colorado had their first team meeting today. Coach Prime, in that meeting, had this to say. He talks about how he's not just a dad anymore. He's now has to be a coach. Take a listen.
And a privilege to be standing before you. It's I can't explain how happy and how thoughtful and how thankful I am for this day. I've been praying about this day. I've been anticipating this day. You got to understand, it's an emotional day for me. This is the first day I've been up here without two knuckleheads, and I'm looking back. Charlotte told me I was going to get mad at him for not being in the meeting today, knowing he don't supposed to be in the meeting today. So, but this is the first day I'm coaching without my boys, which is a pleasure and an honor for me. So now I can just be a coach. I don't have to be my dad.
There you have it. Matt, what is your response to, one, the Cowboys moving on from Mike McCarthy? What are your thoughts on that? Does that surprise you or not? And two, the internet instantly moving to Deion Sanders being the next Dallas Cowboys head coach.
Right. So, look, I know you have the clip, so you might as well just find it and play it because this happened in fucking April, but almost a year ago now. I am not surprised the Cowboys move on from Mike McCarthy. If there's going to be a place that's going to nab Deion and take Shador first and trade Tennessee and trade Dak Prescott to Tennessee, and we talked about this in April of last year. I fucking brought this whole scenario to boot, and then everybody started running with it in the national media. This is on 4/19 of last year, if I remember correctly, only because we've done this so many times. But yeah, am I concerned about this one? Yeah, dog. This is the one that actually. This is the one where I could go. Yeah, I could see him doing that. Like, and just what if Bailey has the video, just watch.
Take a listen.
I would say that Shador gets drafted by the Cowboys and Deion goes to coach the Cowboys, and he's gone next year. That's just me. I think Dak's gone. They find a way to draft Shador. They fire McCartney. They bring in Coach Prime. Jerry Jones goes nuts. The Cowboys go through the fucking roof culturally and cool wise.
Matt, so the Cowboys have gotten rid of McCarthy, and so
there's step one. Now, if you don't think that Coach Prime's on the radar, you're fucking stupid and naive.
And hold on, just for those watching, that clip was on April 19th of last year, just to reference. Go ahead.
So I don't think that he will leave, but if he does, this is the place he's going, and because it just fuck. If they put into, say that they do bring him in, and he goes to Tennessee and goes, we're going to give you our first rounder in Dak, which immediately makes Tennessee one of like the better teams in that division because the Houston's pretty good, but they would immediately start competing again.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Even though he's kind of shitty, they would start competing.
Tennessee, I argue, and the quarterback away.
Exactly. They got a good young coaching staff. They're not going to move on from them. They get a veteran quarterback. They get another first-round pick to build with, and they give up the first and take Shador. And if you can figure out that fucking entire conundrum before the draft, like they have done in so many times in the past, because you got all this time beforehand to make the deal, don't see how it doesn't work. So the key would be, does Deion want to go do that shit? And then if he does, then – yeah, man, things significantly change in Boulder. I mean, come on. Yeah. If he doesn't, then this is just another feather in the cap. This is the Cowboys are interviewing him now. So, look, to project the future like this is tricky, though. Like, just to assume that you're going to be able to get Shador when you're the Cowboys is a huge, huge, huge risk. Like, you could go be the coach of the Cowboys and not get Travis or Shador and end up playing him twice a year and have to go play your son. Would that make it? The Giants and you're the coach of the Cowboys, and all of a sudden you're game planning against your own kid and watching him get his head ripped off on the field and rooting for it. I don't think that would go very well in Coach Prime's world. So I think that Coach Prime and Shador have run their course as player, coach, son, father.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even I've been coaching my boy forever, and he's only in high school, and he's already, you know, looking at me like, fuck this guy. So I understand how it feels. That's what happens. It's the way it is. It's great. And I want him to be like that because he's got to grow into his own man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if bad things were going to happen and CU was going to lose out on having Coach Prime as the head coach, this is probably the only place that I would actually take seriously if. I haven't heard any reports that it's going to happen, but again, it's all speculation. Like I was speculating in April of last year. We're speculating again now. I don't want it to happen by any means. Fuck that shit. I want him to stay in Boulder in games next year and keep this party going. But at the same time, to act like, look, next year, if and when they're 10 wins, 11 wins, and they're even better maybe, you think he's not going to get interest from every swinging dick in the country? Then Alabama will be fed up with DeBoer and they'll go after him, or you know, Ryan Day from Michigan again after winning the national title, and they'll find him and they'll go after him. Like maybe Florida State's done with Mike Norvell at that point, and they go after him. Like
USC, Lincoln Riley, who knows?
Everyone. Coach Prime is not going to be the head coach in Boulder forever. True. Enjoy this. Enjoy the era. Just like you got 13 years with the unbelievable Coach Mike and Coach Mack, and you got, you got like 5 or 6 years with Tricky Ricky Neuheisel, and they 4 out of the 6 were pretty good. And then you got the stretch with Coach Barnett. People took it for granted. And we went fucking 20 goddamn years of obscurity and just awful football in Boulder. Awful, with the exception of 1 fucking year in 2016. Okay? So now that they're back, enjoy this. Enjoy the era. Soak it in. Be proud of who, the colors you get to rep, because he's not going to be here forever. Now, I could be wrong on that too. Who's to say he doesn't stay for 15 years and turn it into a fucking megaplex and then pass the keys off to whoever he wants? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's to say that Shiloh goes and plays for 2 or 3 years in the league and it's not his bag and he goes back and coaches and then Shiloh takes over for Dion 15 years later?
Yeah. Yeah, you never know.
It's a lot of different bullshit ideas that are in the old duder's head. So I wouldn't be sitting here worrying about the Cowboys, but they did just fire McCarthy. So, but fuck, man. I mean, it couldn't happen.
Had to ask you that because, we'll see, man.
This is also ridiculous. To think that they couldn't move up to get Shedeur is stupid. They've got plenty of ammunition to do so. Plenty.
A lot of teams.
And they've got to re-sign Micah Parsons too. So if you want to go get your quarterback and you want to say, okay, hey, Tennessee, we'll give you Dak and Micah Parsons and a 3rd rounder. We want your 1st rounder this year and your 2nd rounder this year. All right, you're doing that if you're Tennessee immediately. You're getting a quarterback, a 1st-round draft pick, and an elite pass rusher. They don't have to pay Dak anymore. They don't have to pay the contract on Parsons anymore. They move to the number 1 pick, and they get an extra 2nd rounder. They pick Shedeur and move on. Don't tell me it can't be done. You can manipulate the salary cap however you want if you are smart, if you have connections. This is not going to be like Shedeur's agent on the phone. This is Coach Prime going to be on the phone negotiating where his son's going.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And especially if he's the fucking head coach of the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you think he's going to be negotiating to get his kid? Come on.
Exactly. So, interesting. Just had to bring that up.
I know everybody's in their feelings in the chat. We're talking about hypotheticals, bro. No one's telling you.
Hypothetical conversation. Take a deep breath.
God, everyone, just calm down, bro. Again, if you expect me to validate your fan opinion in the chat, you better understand an expert's one.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. Oh man. Well, we'll see. I don't think Prime's going anywhere, and I'll stand on that for a while. But who knows?
Please don't leave.
Yeah, Coach Prime, please don't go anywhere. Please don't.
We love you here. Don't leave, Doug.
Amen to that.